thank you so much for meeting with us today. For those who may not know, please tell us about Fermata Energy and what you do.
Yeah, so Fermata Energy is a vehicle to grid, vehicle to building, vehicle to home. We say vehicle to everything company. And what that means is we provide a technology platform, which is mostly software, but we work with other hardware vendors, charger manufacturers. We work with EV companies to provide technology that lets you charge your car, charge your EV normally, just like a normal charger, but you can also discharge it to do things like power your house or power a building or sell that energy that's in that battery that is very valuable back to the grid to make money.
Okay, great. And tell us about how your bidirectional charging technology works and how will this make EVs more desirable to buyers?
Right. So Fermata was founded to do two things. One is to get more renewable energy on the grid and to get more EVs on the road. And on the grid side, there's a lot of renewable energy already out there. There's more coming. And the cost to produce solar and wind is actually very, very cheap. It's actually very cost effective. The problem is you have to have massive energy storage programmed into the grid to hold all that sunshine and wind energy when we need it, basically at dinner time. And batteries can do that, but they're very, very expensive right now. So the cost of all this energy storage that we need to deploy to use all that renewable energy is very high. Now, on the EV side of things, EVs are also pretty expensive for like the same reasons, right? This big battery, but there's more coming. But they're also, kind of out of reach for a lot of people just because they're so expensive. But what's interesting is, we think we buy this car to drive it around, but actually most cars are parked 95% of the time, which is really interesting. So it's this huge battery that's sitting there parked and often full of energy. And wouldn't it be great if you could, sell your energy back when, let's say, California really needs it, like when they're having a wildfire or when the grid is peaking in the summertime, and you're either at your house or at work, and that car is sitting there, and you could sell your energy back and then get paid. And then you can reduce the cost of ownership of that vehicle. So now that everyone can afford an EV, and then we grow EV adoption. And with more EVs, that's more storage for solar, which means more demand for energy storage and EVs in a virtuous cycle.
Yeah, it's very interesting. But what do you think is the biggest barrier to EV adoption?
Well, I think, range anxiety is, I think, being addressed. The batteries in the EVs are getting bigger and better every year, which allows you to drive longer. But we're not really driving any more longer or greater distances than we did, last year. I mean, with COVID, we probably drive less, right? I mean, a lot of people are working at home. I'm at home right now. My car is going to be parked in my driveway all day, right? And then there's all these corridor charging. There's all these fast chargers out there now, and more coming if you want to drive to the beach or something like I'm doing next week, right? But still, the cost for an EV is still extremely high, and I think the cost for everything is really high, but particularly for an EV. And I think if we are able to produce, some of our sites right now, for example, are producing $4,000 to $5,000 a year just by parking your car basically at dinner time in the summer, when my car is going to be parked anyways. And if you can make that much money, I mean, this is not hundreds of dollars, we're talking thousands of dollars, because that battery in that vehicle is so big and the demand for it right now is so great that you can actually make that type of money. If I can make thousands of dollars a year with my EV when it's parked, that can really lower the cost. Some of that can actually go right to pay for the car, right? You can pay for the charger, pay for the car, or a good portion of it. And then EVs now become less expensive than, let's say, an internal combustion engine. or less expensive than other means of transportation. And it does so by providing the support for renewable energy that the grid needs, which is like the best part.
So whereabouts can we expect to see this, and where are we seeing it right now?
Yeah, so our first kind of go-to market use case and customer are fleets. And we've done that for a series of reasons. But while this isn't great for every fleet out there, but there are many fleets that this really integrates perfectly with their duty cycle, doesn't impact driving, and is basically found money for them. We have customers, like I said, in the Northeast that are making, over $4,000 just by parking the car after 5 o'clock when the car is going to be parked anyways. With a fleet, basically their driving cycle can be very predictable. So you can know ahead of time if they're going to work with your technology. So we're looking at municipal fleets, commercial fleets. We're doing some really interesting things with ride share and car share, where you can sign out the car. The utility could sign out the car, the building can sign out the car, whatever the most valuable thing to do for that car at any given point. That's really what our technology does. But we want to get into residential. We're getting there. We are going to be doing a lot of school bus work, which is great. That's one of my favorite things to do is providing electric school buses to kids and doing so in a cost-effective way, because the kids are playing in summer. That school bus is sitting there and can be providing, again, the storage that renewable energy needs. So that's very exciting.
Great. And what can we expect to see from Fermata Energy in the next 12 to 18 months?
Well, it's very exciting. We have been around for a while, and we have, these proof of concept customers out there using kind of a first generation of this technology with a first generation charger that we made. And now we're getting some larger charger companies to make chargers for us so we can focus on the software that brings it all together. And we are launching a full scalable commercial charger with our software, as well as other chargers. Now we're probably working with 3 or 4 different charger companies right now, which is really exciting. And we're going to be deploying a lot of those over the next 18 months. So you're actually going to see this technology out there working in the real world, scaling, and doing all this wonderful stuff we've been dreaming about for almost a decade now. Really, it's coming to a head because there's more and more EVs coming and more bidirectional EVs coming, which is really exciting. The Lightning, Nissan's been bidirectional forever, but I think at this point, most major OEMs right now have announced some type of bidirectional product coming, or they say the next generation is going to be bidirectional. So that's all going to be happening in the next 18 months, which is really exciting for this technology.
Yeah, that all sounds really exciting. What topics will you be touching on at Move America 2023?
Yeah, so I am really looking forward to Move because everyone who's anybody is going to be there. And that is so critical for us. Really, the key to make this technology work is to bring all these ecosystem players together, and which is what we've been doing for years and years, working with automotive OEMs, working with charger companies, working with utilities, working with building folks, installers. Bringing them all together needs to happen, and it can be tricky, but being able to meet with these people face to face, let them know what's happening, forge those relationships is critical. And I'm really looking forward to that because really at the end of the day, we integrate all these people with our technology and then provide a layer of intelligence, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and optimization to basically, at the end of the day, let you know how much your EV is worth, where and when. And then if you want to take advantage, you plug in, we'll send you a check, and we'll grow EV adoption.
Amazing. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you there in September, but thanks so much for speaking with us today, and have a good rest of your day.
Great.